Good morning, everybody. I hope you will be better than yesterday. Okay. Today I will review my lesson plan and my unit test. Okay. Before teaching, teachers should make lesson plan. Teachers should make a topic and prepare the material. And in this section, I choose a topic about identifying simple past tense. And the material that we'll use are book and pen. Why I choose this topic? Because I want my students understand about my material and to know are my students understood or no. I want to ask my students to identify from a sentence until paragraph. Instructional sequence. In this section, in this warm up, I just have 10 minutes. The first teacher make a greeting to students. Teacher explain about material and what will students do. The first students have to respond about teacher's greeting. Students have listened the explanation. In this section, the first teacher will make a greeting to students and then students must listen about the greeting of the teacher. And then teacher explain about material and students have to listen the material of the teacher. Teaching content. In this section, I just have 20 minutes. The first teacher give explanation to students about material, and teacher give instructional about the task. What will students do? The first students must listen the explanation, and students must listen about instructional. In this section, teacher will give the explanation about the material to students, while students listen about the explanation of the teacher. And teacher will give instruction about the task, and that teacher will give instructional what will students do of the task, and students must listen about the instructional so that students will do the task will with the better. For practice, I have 30 minutes time. The first teacher asks the students to correct the sentence. And the teacher asks the students to use simple past tense verb in the sentence, and teacher asks the students to identify in paragraph. What will students do? The first students must correct the verb in a sentence to simple past tense. Students must use simple past tense in the sentence, and students must identify paragraph and correct the verb to simple past tense. In the section, teacher will ask the students to correct the sentence, and in the sections, teacher will give students about some sentence, so student will correct the verb in a sentence to simple past tense, and teacher asks the students to use simple past tense verb in the sentence. In the section, in this part, teacher will give some sentence to students, and then students must use simple past tense in the sentence, and teacher asks the students to identify in paragraph, and then teacher will give a paragraph to student, and then students must identify the paragraph and correct the verb to simple past tense. In the application, I have 30 minutes times 2. The first teacher give the example to the task, and teacher give a point about the task. What will students do? The first students must to ask the teacher if not understand about the example, and students must submit the task. In this section of application, the first teacher will give the example how to do the task, and student must listen the example that explained by the teacher, and if they not understand, they have to ask to the teacher, and then teacher give a point about the task, and students must submit the task. Okay. In my unit test, I have 3 parts. The part 1 is simple past tense verb. The instructions is please correct these sentences. In this part, I will give my students some sentence. I want to use verb 1 in this sentence. I know this verb is incorrect, but and I want my students to correct this sentence. For example, I eaten fried rice yesterday. Eaten is verb 3, while the sentence is used simple past tense, while simple past tense is used verb 2. So they have correct to answer. I ate fried rice yesterday. Part 2. Simple past tense vocabulary. Instruction. Please choose the correct answer and fill in the blank with simple past tense. In this section, I will give some sentence to my student and then I will give two verbs that correct and incorrect, so my students have to choose the correct verb. For the example, I to Jogja with my friends yesterday. I go to Jogja, or I ring to Jogja, and the best answer is I go to Jogja. And then they have to choose go, and then they have to use simple past two of simple past tense of go. So they have to use verb 2 of go. For example, I went to Jogja with my friends yesterday. And then she a new bag to me last night. She eat or she give. The best answer is she give. Then give must to use verb 2 of give. For example, she gave a new bag to me last night. And then part 3. Identifying verbs. Instruction. Identify the verb of this paragraph, then correct the wrong words. So in this section, I will give my students a paragraph, then I will use part 1 or part 3 of this paragraph, and then my students have to use verb 2 of this paragraph. So they have identifying what the incorrect verb of this paragraph. For example, one day my mother asked me. Ask is verb 2, while simple past tense is use verb. Ask is verb 1, while simple past tense is use verb 2. So they have to correct. One day my mother asks me to buy something in the market. Buy is verb 1, and this correct because buy after 2, while verb is that after 2 is must to use verb 1. I go to the market. I go is verb 1, while simple past tense is use verb 2. So the best answer is I went to the market by motorcycle. Okay, I think enough my explanation today. See you next meeting. Bye.